Morning and welcome to Coffee Walk. Today we're going to talk about what a real frame-up restoration is. Show you two full frame-up restorations in process. The term is used very loosely in the industry, but to do a true frame-up restoration, you got to go all the way down to the bare frame. Now we're going to be looking at a 1984 CJ-7 and a 1984 Scrambler, one that is extremely rare. So coming out to the shop, I think we got Alex out here with us today. Good morning.
Morning.
All right. So I had Alex come in early today so we could have this body ready to come off the chassis. Is it ready?
Yes, it is.
All right, so this is a 1984 Laredo Scrambler. In 1984, they made 4,130 of these. Roughly 20% of those were Laredos for the entire North American market. So that's 800 Jeeps. This one was built for California. And the reason we know that is because it's a serpentine drive.
All right.
Instead of a V-belt. So whenever you see a CJ with serpentine drive, I always chase them because they end up, sold all over the country. They're usually very, very solid Jeeps. Mm-hmm. So you take that number, can't be more than 10% of these things were California delivered in 4C. That's 80 Jeeps, and one with nutmeg interior, which I've never seen before. We've had 12 or 1,300 of them. I'm pretty confident this is a one-off Jeep. So we're building this for a major Jeep collection. The guy's got some killer stuff. You've met him.
Yep.
And this is going to be a total OE restoration, which means original equipment, and we're going to use as many NOS parts on this Jeep as possible. You guys need to watch this over the next 90 days because we're going to pull out some NOS stuff out of our stash that we don't sell that only goes on Jeeps like this, and it is going to be awesome. So as we walk around this Jeep, it does have some rust in it. Nothing that's not repairable. This quarter panel is damaged. We just so happen to have an NOS Scrambler side panel that goes from here all the way to here that I have saved in the warehouse forever. We had about 3 of them. Yep. So this will get an NOS side put on it. That helps us a long ways in getting into the restoration. We also, I'm telling too many of my secrets now, but it's going to get an NOS rear bumper too. But what I want to see is the condition of the frame, see what we're working with there. Tell you what's really neat on this is this, the bulkhead here. One of the first things that commonly rust on these Scramblers is the lower edge of this bulkhead. This one's really good. So let's see what we're working with on the frame. That's probably good, Alex. So the big areas of concern on these CJs from working with them over the years is the first area you want to look at is where the steering box is mounted to the frame. That tends to be an area that gets torqued on quite a bit because of the power steering box. There's no cracks there. And a lot of times if they've been flat-toed and people didn't unlock their steering and screwed up and yanked it around, they'll put a whole bunch of pressure up in this area and they'll crack here, they'll crack here. There's no cracks. Really, really straight.
This frame looks really solid.
Yeah, it does look really good. This area right here, where it kicks up, is a normal area for rust. I don't see any. Wow. I would have suspected this rear cross member would have been damaged because of this. Even the rear cross member is good. So then, what I always like to check, I'm confident this one's right, but I always like to see check the serial number. Yep, there you go. That is definitely correct. So it's got the original serial number on the frame, which they use the last 8 numbers, which the last 6 digits are the VIN. But that's how Jeep used to run. Unfortunately, all the documents are gone now. Yeah. But if they had the documents, they ran them off the last 8. They didn't run it off the whole 17 digits of the VIN. So they only put the last 8 on there because that's all that mattered to them. That's how they looked it up. The body's going to need some work.
Nothing we can't fix.
No, we can fix it. We have all that stuff. Now this restoration is going to take us, I bet this one's going to reach 500 hours. So it's time and materials, whether you restore a Ferrari, Lamborghini, Austin Healey, Jaguar, which Alex has helped me through all those makes and marks. We're almost done with the M1. A lot of people have asked about the M1 lately. We appreciate you asking about that. It's pushed to the side because BMW is actually making us a few parts out of their specialty division. Yep. And they've made us some in the past, where they told us now, during COVID, you guys are just going to have to cool your jets. You're probably not going to get this stuff till first quarter next year. So here we have an incredibly rare Scrambler. I believe probably the only ice blue, nutmeg interior, California delivered, period. So as you guys watch this again, this is going to look exactly like it left the factory. We're going to get it as close as possible. Actually, we'll get it. We'll nail it. Yep. Now let's go look at what Alex is about to start on over here. Alex loves the resto mod scene. It's not that I don't like it, but you know, he's a millennial and likes the big horsepower stuff and everything brand new. Now this customer here had a Jeep in high school, either that or his friend, I don't remember what the story was, and he wanted us to build it exactly like that or as close as we could get. So what are we working with on the motor?
Right here we got a Crate 350 from Blueprint, putting out close to 400 horse, backed up to a TR 4050 transmission. This thing's gonna rip.
So to mate all this stuff together, there's a company called Advanced Adapters that has literally done this since I was messing with it in high school. I think they've been around in the 70s. So no, none of this will fit in a CJ frame. So they've got frame mount brackets for the small block for this year motor. They've got an adapter to adapt this motor to the Tremec 5-speed, right?
Yep.
And they've got an adapter for the transmission plate. So that's what these big boxes are over here. There's a lot of things that you've got to do to accomplish putting a small block in a Jeep CJ7 chassis. It just doesn't go in there.
Right.
So how are we going to cool this thing?
We got a big radiator with some big fans.
So the electric fan's built in it.
Yes.
Very nice.
We got some nice Flowtech headers, stainless steel brake lines, and what's really cool is we're putting Willwoods on this thing.
Four-wheel disc brakes from Willwood.
Yep.
Now, I remember talking to this customer, and you and Kevin have taken it over. He's very particular and exact how he wanted things. Look at this. This is 7 pages long, very detailed how he wants everything done and every single type of part that he wants. This guy said he spent the last couple of years putting all this stuff together. 7 solid pages. I'm taking a bunch of numbers out, but so you don't have to come ask me or Kevin what you're doing because
Right,
you know.
just look at that.
It's right there. You got the playbook already. Now, one of the things that has taken a long time, and the whole industry is short on this stuff because I think there's a shortage of shocks and leaf springs, is the lift kit.
Right, we waited a long time for that one.
So this is a Rubicon Express kit. But back onto the premise of this whole story, this is a real frame-up restoration. This is all the way down to the bare frame. And again, the numbers are over here, the last 8. They're beautiful. This Jeep was a Jeep out of Fort Worth. You went and got it.
Yep.
This guy, he said, I want the most solid thing you can find. We found an original paint red 84 CJ7. Just in comparison, again, how rare the Scramblers are, there were 41,000 CJ7s built in 84. There were only 4,100 of those, so roughly 10%. Beautiful frame, turned out great.
Had
So
it
this-
powder coated and everything.
Yeah, you
Really
had this
nice.
blasted and powder coated, right?
Yep.
So even the differentials, Alex tore these all the way down. Now the cover plates are on them because when you take them to have a media blast, you don't want the media getting in there. So even the differentials are taken all the way down to bare metal and powder coated. So this is going to be a monster build. And again, this is a total custom build. I think we're still going to it's going to be 400 or 500 hours.
Yes, it will be.
Now I wanted to show you what the term rotisserie means. You hear people talk about rotisserie restoration all the time. Have you seen the body since they got it back?
Just only a little bit.
Okay, well, they've done a lot of work on it in the back. So in coming soon, you guys, we're going to show you a couple of big built CJs like that, because normally we just show the OE stuff, which is what I love.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I like all of them. But probably 2 or 3 weeks, we're going to show you a big CJ5, a big CJ7, and a big Scrambler. I'm not just going to tell you what's in them, but big custom builds like we're doing over here. But let's check out how they're doing on the body. The color that this customer chose is Olympic white. And here's the grille. The grills are painted off the Jeep and the windshield frames are painted off the Jeep. That's how Jeep did it before they put them back together. We explained that many times. The reason this grill's painted is because we had another Olympic white Jeep that we were painting, so we went ahead and painted the grill. Because it had just come back from the media blaster. So this Jeep's gonna be Olympic white with blue stripes. It'll be stunning.
I saw a little bit when this came back, and
yeah, you always think and hope they're gonna be rust free. They almost never are.
Right.
Because there were some areas in these Jeeps that had no primer on them from the factory, as in the roll bar mount area. So you can see right here, we've got these beautifully remade roll bar mount area pieces we're putting in. Now, you're looking at this thinking, why didn't they blast the outside of this tub? Well, the way we do this now is we don't use sand, we use media. We have the firewall blasted to bare metal, the bottom to bare metal, the inside to bare metal, and then we have them black primer coated. We don't do the outside anymore if it was an original paint Jeep, and the reason why is because it gets hot, or can get hot spots down the side, and you end up having to use filler. So we'll hand sand the whole outside of this Jeep. Now we have this one jigged like this where nothing will move because the customer did not want any spray liner on this Jeep. He wanted the floors to look new. So if you look back here on this rear floor, it had a couple of dents and waves in it. I mean, you can't fix that really. So we drilled all the spot welds in the exact spots that were from the factory and put a new rear floor in it. So the inside of this, you know, it's going to look twice as good as it did when it left the factory. But since it's no spray line, we've got to spend a ton more time getting that perfectly straight. So there you have it, what a real frame up is, what a real body off is, and what a rotisserie is, a two 1984 CJ-7s. So you guys please like, tag, share, and follow, and have a great day. You ready to get after it?
Ready.
Let's go to work.